Aerial yoga meets the lounge chair. I woke up one morning and someone had pushed the lounge chair underneath the aerial hammock, and so I thought I'd give it a go and actually found that it was really lovely. The hammock then is super low, so really gentle and easy to access it and grab it. I just tried a variation of poses and I really loved it. This is wrist wrap and getting into a nice hamstring stretch. I loved how the padding on the lounge chair made it just soft and cozy. For me, using the hammock is a wonderful tool to help my yoga postures, helping make yoga accessible and also making it gentle. Laying down with the lounge chair allowed me to get some nice neck traction. So the hammock was just gently pulling on my head. So when I put this around my head, it's wrapped around my ears. I don't have the hammock in my neck, so in my spine. It's actually on my skull. That's really important that you have it on the head, the skull, and not on the cervical spine. Wrist wrap is also one of my favorite. Getting a nice shoulder stretch, but also here an easy pose. It allows me to hinge forward. So for me, I feel a stretch in my lower back and a deep stretch in my hips and a nice mild stretch in my shoulders. So having the hands wrapped up allows me to relax my shoulders and gives me enough support, but also keeps me upright a little bit so I'm not hinging all the way over. Getting another neck stretch, just staying with my hands in wrist wrap as I pull down on my hands as I lean my head side to side. Now here is another way to rest in easy pose with a slight hinging forward. The hammock is just on my forehead. It could even be over my eyes, which could help to take the light away and maybe make it more calming and relaxing. So I also want to see if I can get a little traction in my spine. So coming into the cross position, my bottom is barely touching, but it was really nice to get some mild traction. And if I interlace the fingers behind my head, I can get a nice heart opening and shoulder opening. So the hammock height is going to be really important. If it were lower, I wouldn't get enough traction in my spine. And if it were higher, it might have been a little challenging to get into, but I loved it at this height where when I did go into cross position, my bottom barely touched. It was perfect height for me. I also wanted to see if I could get into a mild inversion. So I'm going to come into the star position and wrap my feet around the front of the hammock. So again, the hammock is at this perfect height because my shoulders are barely touching. So I don't have a lot of weight on my shoulders or my neck or my head. So it's quite perfect to get some wonderful traction and also an inversion. If your shoulders are touching, make sure you're pressing down into the shoulders and there's a lightness in the neck. This inversion is great for calming the mind and reducing stress and anxiety and depression and insomnia. So definitely one to stay and hold anywhere up to a minute.